the world has gone into chaos. Governments are corrupt, nations are self-destructing, and people are looking to their politicians for answers. The same politicians who use them and abuse them in every way possible. Conformity has a stranglehold on society. Nobody is willing to escape the rat race. People seem to be surrendering themselves to the powers that be, stuck in the perpetual cycle of mundanity. What people need now more than ever is not a politician. They don't need false promises, false hopes. They need a true leader, someone with passion and wisdom, someone who could start a different kind of civilization that is separate from the failed systems that have imprisoned us for so long. The answer has finally come just in time. A principality is being created by the prestigious Lamat dynasty. Gone are the days of weak leaders full of sophistry and fallacious ideas. Now is the time to usher in the age of Lamattology, where great men are forged, where bright minds flourish, and where people are restored back to their former glory. My name is Lord Josh Allen. I am an occultist, a Taoist weather magician, and the co-founder of the Lamat Empire. Together with the legendary Captain Lamat, I am working to establish my own micronation or principality. In order to do this, I will need a physical location, a foothold that I can use to create my vision from there, and the kingdom will be known as Lamattopia. In decades to come, the kingdom will expand, and one day it will reach the stars. This video will serve as an explanation of some of my plans and strategies in buying, developing, and growing my independent nation. I hope you will get involved. Okay, so let's get down to the details of the actual kingdom itself. The kingdom will be called Lamattopia. The layout and design of the nation will obey the sacred geometry of the Lamat star, a Mayan hieroglyph that depicts new beginnings and rebirth, perfect for a new civilization. The entire kingdom will be built in accordance to Lamat star, so if you were to look at the kingdom from above, you would see this formation with the buildings. It would form a strong fort-like wall around the edges. The architecture will be a blend of Victorian British meets Han Dynasty Chinese. Each section will be divided into 5 different areas used for different reasons. At the top left, military. At the top right, industry and medicine. At the bottom left, magic and the study of mysticism, and at the bottom right, farmland and agriculture. Located in the center will be the main buildings where the Lamat family will rule, where all of the important decisions are made. Each divided section has a specially selected governor who has some local independence, but ultimately has to answer to the royal Lamat family, located within the center. These governors can make small choices regarding their own sectors, but their jurisdiction stops where their border ends. Within the military sector in the top left, this area is in charge of defending the kingdom from attacks. The military will adopt the ancient war tactics used by Zhuge Liang, otherwise known as Kong Ming. You see, Kong Ming is going to have a lot of association with this kingdom as well. He's very important to me, and I want to incorporate the energies of Kong Ming into the kingdom. Healthy men who are single will be forced to enlist. If they have families, are ill, or cannot physically do the training, then they will find work in another sector. It is mandatory by law that everyone works in some way to keep the kingdom going. If a person refuses to work, he or she is given a warning and then kicked out of the kingdom. The top right sector, industry and medicine, will be healthcare and the manufacturing of goods to support the infrastructure of the kingdom. In this area, citizens will have access to modern medicine and alternative remedies such as traditional Chinese medicine, acupuncture, Reiki, feng shui healing, and more. The healthcare system will not be free, but it won't be expensive either. By privatizing the healthcare, this allows the system to be better equipped with the latest medicine. In manufacturing, workers will be encouraged to develop as much as they can, so the kingdom can sell materials to other kingdoms or companies, therefore creating an income. In the bottom left sector, magic and mysticism schools will exist. Large, elaborate outdoor altars where newcomers can learn the art of Taoist weather magic, as well as the other arcane arts. You'll also be able to learn Zhuge Liang's unique branch of ritual magic. These schools will be free, and it will be mandatory for every citizen to go to them in order for them to become magicians. All citizens must know the basics of ceremonial magic. From the factory workers to the farmers, everyone must partake with regular rituals. The magic sector will also offer private lessons if you wish to become a master and dedicate all of your time to occultism. In the bottom right corner, farming and agriculture will take place. The kingdom will be entirely self-sufficient. It will not buy food from any outside sources. Everything that is consumed comes from within the kingdom itself. All the food is freshly grown, homegrown produce, and no GMOs or any kind of chemicals are allowed to be used. No matter what country or terrain the kingdom is located in, weather magicians can change the climate. Therefore, the kingdom's food supply will never dry up, and food shortages will not exist. Finally, in the center, the governing royal Lamat family work to maintain and run the entire kingdom. This is the beating heart of the whole operation, where the royal throne is located. From here, plans are made on alliances with other kingdoms, expansion into new territory, controlling the economy, budgeting the other sectors, developing motivational advertisement campaigns, selecting the new 4 governors, keeping records on things like food, materials, number of people who live in the nation, and many other things. This is the area where high-ranking diplomats and ministers live. The political system is not a democracy. Leaders are not voted in. The citizens have no choice in who rules the kingdom, as no voting system exists. Instead, the leaders rule by divine power. They are selected by heaven by means of weather divination. An outdoor altar will be constructed, and from there, qualified weather practitioners will listen to the heavenly omens. Selecting a new leader will be judged by wind directions, thickness of rain, sounds of thunder, colors within the horizon, and sudden drops within temperature. The process of choosing the next leader only applies after I myself have departed. Although the leader is technically in charge, he must answer to the heavenly captain, Captain Lamat, the original grandfather of the Lamat movement. He is the everlasting, immortal, supreme commander of Lamattology. No matter who is in power, nobody would ever be able to overturn his rule. Therefore, the system is an esoteric benevolent dictatorship, EBD for short. Esoteric as it greatly depends on occultism, mysticism, and the practice of ceremonial magic in order to govern others. The leader will value his population and love them as he would his own family. He would know everyone by name and know their interests and their life stories, no matter how big the kingdom gets. As leader, I can promise that unemployment will not exist. Jobs will always be available to citizens within all 5 sectors. Nobody living within the kingdom will struggle either. The entire population will be comfortable financially. Trade will exist, a type of currency based on herbs and stones that are used for Taoist weather magic. The rarity, condition, and purpose of the stone will determine its wealth. A clear quartz crystal was regarded by Taoists as containing yin and yang energies. Yang is more valuable than yin. Therefore, a yang-rich herb or stone will be more sought after. The value of the stone will also depend on what element it can summon. A sunstone which can heat up the atmosphere and bring clear weather will be the most desirable. The currency of magical stones and herbs is called weather wealth. Just as I guaranteed no unemployment, I also guarantee absolutely no crime within the kingdom. The military sector is responsible for policing the kingdom. If anyone is found committing a crime, then the punishment will be severe. I won't put up with any crime whatsoever. Lamattology will have a very well-developed class system. Just as ant colonies have queens and workers, just as wolves have the pack leader, just as lions have their pride, The kingdom will have its own hierarchy, as this goes in accordance with the natural order of things. This class system will be known as the Lamat disposition. It will greatly depend on the quality of a person's character. This system is not exclusively based on wealth, family, or career, although of course this does play a role. The main defining component that determines an individual's class is their loyalty to the Lamat Empire. For example, how much they are willing to do to forward the regime, how much effort they are willing to put in to supporting their leaders. The more support they give, the further up the social ladder they will ascend. Punishment and reward are dealt with fairly in the kingdom. Firm but fair laws. I took that from Zhuge Liang's policy when he was governing Shu. Fantastic politician, and he knows exactly what he's talking about. A person's class is also measured by their spiritual connection to Lamat. How often do they pray to him? How long have they been a Lamatologist? How experienced are they with ceremonial magic? All of this should be taken into account. At the top of the class hierarchy is of course Captain Lamat. He exists within an untouchable, unattainable class which is called the Supreme Captain of Earth and Heaven. Nobody will ever be able to enter this class because it is reserved for the captain only. However, if a citizen of the kingdom works really hard, they may one day be able to achieve the second most powerful rank, the Grand Lamat Leader. The Grand Lamat Leader is the highest rank a mortal will ever hold. When one reaches this rank, the Grand Leader is considered to be the prophet of Lamatology, and the ruler of all matters big and small within the kingdom. Nothing is allowed to happen without the Grand Leader's approval. He has total authority of all citizens, and he only takes orders from the Supreme Captain. If one disobeys the Grand Leader, this is considered to be a direct act of disobedience to the Supreme Captain. The next rank below the leader is priest, so all magicians, occultists, and masters. Below priest are government officials, diplomats, and ministers. Below them are military, and lastly, you have the common workers. Now, if at any time a citizen feels unhappy with the kingdom, if they feel like they don't want to be there anymore, then they are free to leave whenever they please. But all of the resources, the materials, and the goods that the person has obtained whilst living in the kingdom, before they leave, they must hand all of their goods back to the Lamat royal family. We can't have people coming into the kingdom, becoming citizens, and then taking the goods that we have created and going elsewhere. People cannot take advantage of this system. This happens all too often within regular mainstream society, especially in the Western world. People milk the system, they milk the government for handouts, and that will not be happening here. You will not be given a free house. You will not be given a free pass to behave like a parasite. You will be guaranteed a good job with good money, and your standard education will be free, but you will be encouraged to better yourself and buy yourself private lessons with the money you are earning. Money is earned in this kingdom, it is never given. Now, what is the process of allowing new people into the kingdom for them to become official citizens? There will be some requirements. Firstly, if someone wishes to join, they must first swear allegiance to the Lamat Empire, stating that they now serve the Lamat regime and will do their utmost to be of use to it. This is done in writing and is considered to be the truth. As the person does this, he or she will be hooked up to a lie detector machine. Questions such as, do you faithfully promise that you will love, serve, and honor Lamat will be asked. Now, I know that a lie detector is about 90% accurate, I think, so it isn't 100% proof that the person is lying. So we will have specially trained professionals standing by who can read body language, vocal tics, and other telltale signs that show someone isn't being truthful. If the person passes after that, then they will need to pass some more tests, consisting of a personality test, an IQ test, an emotional intelligence test, a history of magic test, and a general health test. This is done to properly get to know the person's strengths and weaknesses, and it will help us determine what sector and job the person should go to. If the individual has interests in military strategy and warfare, then providing they are physically fit, I would send them to the military sector. People flourish when they are placed in the proper careers that suit them. I don't want a one-size-fits-all system. These tests are done to help us know what sector the person will do their best in. Lamattopia is all about unlocking the hidden potential within its people. Onto the culture and style of Lamattopia. Due to its deep connections with Taoism, a large Chinese temple will be created and dedicated to Master Zhuge Liang, otherwise known as Kong Ming. Citizens will be free to wear Chinese Hanfu-style robes if they wish, and they may carry feathered fans like I do. Some Eastern traditions will carry over, such as the practice of Tai Chi, Qigong, and Feng Shui. Traditional Chinese flags and decorations will be displayed in the streets. It will be a colorful kingdom with plenty of visual flair. There will also be some Western influence as well. Large marble pillars or columns will support most of the larger buildings. Victorian-style palaces and manors will be located in the central royal sector. A place will be built where ornate bathhouses with pools will be open to the higher class citizens. If people choose not to wear Chinese robes, then they may wear European military tunics, tailcoats, or naval outfits, similar to what Lamat is wearing. There is no mandatory dress code, however, all citizens are required to wear a Lamat star badge on their person at all times. And that right there about covers the general idea and concept behind Lamattopia. I'm still in the early planning stages at the moment, and obviously everything I've said is subject to change. I am always open to listening to the feedback of my viewers and my followers, so if you've got an idea, a really innovative and genius idea, let me hear it because I want to hear it. And let me know what you think of my ideas so far. So thank you for watching. I'll be back soon. I've got a lot more to say, but I don't want to bombard you with too much information too soon. So I'll be back soon, everybody. Take care.